This is not the church of Joseph Smith.
Travis Wayne Goodsoe, no, this is not my final motion to shut down the church permanently forever with the federal courts in my case that I promised you I'm doing today. However, I wanted to again reinforce to you the need for it. CNN reported on YouTube a segment called Pastor Defends asking congregates to donate stimulus checks. Now, Mormons know very damn well that they have to pay, they are forced to pay 10% of everything they get. No exceptions. You lose your temple recommend if you do not pay a full tithe. And so Mormons are already in this. CNN is going after other pastors who are just asking for donations. Other religions do not force donations. That's why it's called donations for them. That's why and so it's not a donation in the LDS Church. Tithing is a forced requirement to participate in the religious rituals and to be considered worthy. This is a big red flag for Mormons that all Mormons miss. And again, that's not the worst count in my lawsuit. There are others far worse. So, yes, we will write it up, send it off, and I'll read it in a video form for you. We will stop this evil empire from taking over the world. And yes, they're a part of it. It's not just the church. They're just going to rise up as the church. I was going to do that video until I found out about what I can do for the lawsuit. Because I was going to talk to you about the church literally being the church of the devil. Literally Lucifer's church. According to Mormon theology, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints from Brigham Young is Lucifer's church. That was what I was going to go over again for you, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get to it. I also had the idea to do another video about Joseph Smith Sr. I mentioned it in the other video I just did earlier, but he's the American hero. He saved America, and none of you know it, unless you've been watching my other videos. Joseph Smith Sr. is an American hero. He saved America, single-handedly saved America. And if you understand my videos and what I've been talking about, it's something that you would think Mormons would want to know about their history. That, oh wow, Joseph Smith Jr.'s father saved America, and then he started, they got the plates from Nephi. Somebody put a thumbs down on that. Mormons, Joseph Smith papers. Not the Joseph Smith history, the Joseph Smith papers tells us this, that it was Nephi who visited Joseph, not Moroni. And when you look, and I wanted to do this in the video, but Willard Richards is the one responsible for altering Joseph Smith's papers. That's where the Joseph Smith history came from. The church, when they found the Joseph Smith papers, they did away with publishing the Joseph Smith history in the 7-volume set with the index. They stopped publishing it. And then they worked on this project, the Joseph Smith Papers Project. And despite knowing that Willard Richards, under orders of Brigham Young, altered the church history, that they needed to produce the real publication of church history, which you then see them trying to control the narrative by putting in information to introduce the passage. Don't do that. The church did it anyway. And as a result, they're trying to explain away the changes? No, it was Willard Richards. But, despite having finished the project, they now are coming out with new volumes of church history. They've published the Joseph Smith Papers, but you've got to be filthy rich to get them. And so they've published these saints' histories. And they're going back to Willard Richards with a little bit extra that Mormons have already found out about, that the church revealed because church historians who got excommunicated and fired found out about. But again, they're still lying in the Saints book, which is the new version of church history, despite the Joseph Smith Papers revealing the true history. Sort of. It's encoded, and I've been trying to tell people this also. And so, understand the depths of evil of this church. That they started out altering documents, manufacturing documents, such as polygamy, and covering up the real church history that they didn't really know about, but they were still covering it up nevertheless. And then finally, it gets exposed. And so the church then openly and transparently produces the Joseph Smith Papers, but with clarifications and introductions, and then they go and publish alternate histories nonetheless. Unbelievable. They can't just do Joseph Smith's history as he wrote it so that they can have that published for us. They had to mess it up. That's the evil. It's not just that they're stealing our money as a protection racket. That's exactly what it is. See, these other pastors, CNN is trying to expose this one pastor who says, hey, donate your coronavirus stimulus check to me. And CNN thinks that's atrocious. But they're not looking at the church, who's already had it already planned to take the money from the Mormons. Just like the fast. You're supposed to give money to the church with the fast that Nelson had too. And what are the consequences of the fast? Is it cured? Is it gone? Oh, Trump says yes, because they're opening up the government and they're opening up businesses. What's going to happen is people are going to go back to work, and in under 3 weeks, all of a sudden people are starting to go back to the hospitals again. That's what's going to happen. That's what the one doctor that was interviewed by Rachel Maddow last night told us. That's his prediction, scientific prediction, that if governors let people go back to work in less than 3 weeks from that time, we'll again have an emergency in the hospitals. And the government will have to shut down again. So don't get fooled by these guys. They're trying to murder you. Don't let them.